Well, just looking forward to getting started. Getting closer every day. We have about 14 or 15 more days remaining before we start the season. Guys have been working really hard. Guys have been getting better. We're starting to get more chemistry as our guys starting to work with each other. It's exciting, and the energy's been good. I think they're looking forward to playing someone else now, and that's how it should be.
Have you had the opportunity to play someone else? I know they have these, secret scrimmages that I don't know what you can discuss about it, but have you had any of those opportunities yet?
We've played one closed door scrimmage, which has been good for us to get out and compete. Learn a lot about our guys and see what we have to do to get better. So those are always really good opportunities, and of course they're secret for a reason, so we don't share anything. But I thought both teams played very well.
When you have such an influx of players, do you change your approach, say offensively, to take into consideration the new type of talent that you have?
Definitely. I think we always have to look at our personnel and devise a system that we think they'll be successful in. So definitely we look at who we've gotten coming in this year, and based on that we decide to build our team around what we had. And so I think with the group we have, I think the system is set for our guys to be successful, and that's what you want to have happen.
Coach, as we're getting closer to the season, what players have impressed you more and more?
Well, I've been impressed by, a number of guys, but the younger guys have really been, impressive to me because, just coming here, incoming freshmen like Mentos, Comey, Niels, these guys have, really done a good job to be so young. And they have a lot of things to learn, they have to grow, but you can see where they're going to be really good players as they continue to mature. From our older players, guys like Omar Payne has been, rock solid for us, steady, interior presence on both ends of the floor. He's been really good for us as well. New guys like, Jalen Sellers has been good for us as well as far as what he does on the floor. So, but we've had a lot of, guys contributing on different days. It's been good to watch.
With so many new players on the roster, how do you kind of measure progress? Because usually you have at least some continuity. You have some guys who know the deal, kind of can help guys along. But with so many players, do you feel like you have to maybe start further back, or where do you feel like progress-wise as you get closer to the season that these guys are coming together?
Well, we're moving forward every day. We're getting a little bit better every day, and that's all you can ask. I do have a few guys in key positions that I think have experience and have been with me, and that's Darius Johnson as well as C.J. Walker. So I'm fortunate to have one front line player and one perimeter player that actually understands what I want. I think they've been really good in helping lead and relaying the message and echoing the things that I want to have echoed within my team. And so that's been good, but there's a lot of teaching. You have to go backwards before you can go forward now because everyone comes from a different system, a different coach. Maybe they play zone and we play man. Maybe they, play more, pick up full court. We pick up more in the half court. Whatever it may be, there are differences there that guys have to get acclimated to, and that takes time because you're developing new habits.
How do you think the offense would look different this season than it did last?
Well, I think the offense will look different this season because I think the way we're spacing the floor will be different. I think our pace will be different as well. I think we can utilize our depth a little more than we did in years past with the way our personnel is devised right now. So I think it'll look different with pace, and it'll look different with the overall spacing of the floor for us.
You talked about the younger guys earlier. Comey, we're going to speak to him in a few minutes. Specifically about him, what have you seen from Comey this early going?
I've really enjoyed coaching him. He's a young man who's getting better all the time. He works extremely hard in his game. Like every young player, there are things he has to improve on, but I love his approach to the game. He plays with great passion and desire, and I want everyone playing with passion and desire, and he exemplifies that. He comes out every day, he brings it. He's not a guy to take days off, works extra after practice, trying to get better on his game. And when he's on the floor, he's just a fierce competitor. On both ends of the floor, you're going to feel his presence out there. He's going to compete, on every possession, and that's what you ask for.
Coach, when you talked to us at Media Day, you said that a couple of players had missed a start due to some injury, but they were getting ready to come back. I believe Tyler Hendricks was one of them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if that's so, how have they been looking since coming back to practice?
They're getting back, rounding back into shape and getting their timing back, but doing well. Tyler's done well for us. He's been back in practice now. He's healthy, which is exciting, and he's having a good preseason as well. I mentioned Comey, but Tyler's also having a good preseason. He's working hard. He's getting better. He's getting stronger, and we think he's another young man that can help as he continues to develop in our program.
Who's emerged as leaders on this team so far?
Well, our leaders are, right now our two captains are Shamari and DJ. So those are our two captains. Other guys that have led for us and have helped, of course, CJ has been around me for a while. He understands what I want, so he's been leading well for us as well. Omar's been leading well for a young man who's come from another program. He's really stepped into that role of being a fifth-year senior and approaching it where he understands there's a sense of urgency, and he's done a good job being vocal as well.
Shamari, one of the newcomers, one of the captains. Tell us more about Shamari and what you've seen from him.
Shamari's been terrific. What he is he's a good basketball player, but he's an amazing leader. He brings real good positive energy to the court. I think everyone that plays with him feeds off of his energy. He's always trying to help you on or off the court. Just a really good human being. Great leadership qualities. I think our guys have definitely benefited from having him be a part of our program. And so just really happy for what he's done for us because of his attitude, his personality.
Omar's been with a couple of different teams. What's the challenge with that? I mean, they've learned from different coaches. I know there's experience, but maybe there's some things that you want them to do differently.
Well, definitely. The challenge is, once you've learned someone else's system, then you're having to relearn someone else's, and now he's having to learn. This is his fourth coach. So when you've had 4 different coaches, you have 4 different. This is your 4th different system, and so the challenge is trying to get him to kind of acclimate to what we do as fast as possible. The good thing is he's experienced. If he was a younger player, it'd probably be a little more difficult, but because he has some age under him, I think he's adjusting to what we do well. Style of play for us is probably unique to what he played with, but I think he's excited about it. I think can be successful in how we play. And so looking forward to seeing him when we get out there and start playing, real games.
We've talked about the Big 12 for a couple years now, but you were just there, media day, all the coaches and players kind of gathering together. Did it kind of hit you a little bit more, now that the season's getting here? Like, how did you kind of take everything last week? How did that go?
It was pretty much went like I thought it would. A lot of coaches, coaches sizing each other up, probably a lot of players sizing each other up as well. Everyone trying to figure out, where they are in relation to the other, programs. There are a lot of unknowns for everyone, so I think everyone's approaching it that way. But there are no nights off. You're in the best basketball conference in the country, probably the last 7 or 8 out of 10 years. So you understand that. So your approaches has to be one where you have to make sure you're digging down deep every single day, trying to get better. Every time you go out and play, you have to give a heck of a 40-minute effort to give yourself a chance to be competitive.
At this point in camp, how would you describe how they've adjusted to your approach to defense?
I think they're getting there. They're not where I want them to be as of yet, but we're working towards it. I'm really challenging our guys for us to be, competitive as we move forward this season and in the conference. We're going to have to be good defensively. There's no way around it. I look at the teams that we're facing. I look at what their reputations have been defensively over the years. We have got to be, a top 100, top 50, defensive team in the country to give ourselves a chance to compete every night. So we're really drilling that. We're working on that. And our guys, I think they're buying into it. They just have to learn the habits. Your habits come from a different system to our system. It takes time. But, like I said, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. We have to look to just get better every day. And if we do that, we'll be better, when we need to be.
Looking at the roster, there is a lot of tall and you can say lanky guys. How is that going to contribute to the team defensively?
Well, I think our length will be a plus for us. We're long, so I think in passing lanes we can bother teams. I think our pressure on the basketball can be handled and done a little bit better because of that as well. And I think our rebounding, I think it helps shores up our rebound with long guys that can get under their basket, can make plays at the rim, rebounding offensively and defensively. So I think our length is a plus for us.
How would you describe your depth?
I think we have good depth. I always say this, and this team probably exemplifies as much as any team that I've had before. Our strength is in our depth, and that's kind of we say our strength is in our numbers. It's kind of how we say it amongst our players, and so we want to utilize our guys. We think all of our guys can really come in and contribute, and they'll have an opportunity to do that for us. And so as we're settling in on our lineups, we're settling in on our rotations, the main thing I want our guys to understand and be confident that they all can help us when they come into games and be prepared for those opportunities.
Big 12 media preseason poll came out, I believe, last week. What was your reaction to seeing where the media picked UCF to place in the conference?
They picked us last in the conference. So for us, we have to look at that and understand We're a new team in that league, and for us, we need to use that as motivation to continue to get better. I mean, when you see something like that, I mean, there's a lot of predictions being made. Don't mean they have to come true. And so for us, we look at it as an opportunity to grow as a team and to get better. I mean, we know, like you said, we have stuff to prove. We have to earn everything in that conference. You guys have heard me use that word before. We have to earn everything. And so we have to even earn how we're going to be ranked. And so we have to show people that we're worthy of being, ranked in a different position. But as of now, we have to go out there and prove it. And so we're going to go out there and work hard and try to prove people wrong.
2 weeks out, what's settled in your lineup?
Well, selling our lineup right now, I mean, I think you look at us, of course, C.J. Walker is a returning player that's really good. Of course, Darius Johnson is a returning point guard for us. So those things are pretty settled for us. We're looking at what we've done in practices. When they're in there practicing, they are, practicing well and deserve to be in there. I mean, other than that, we're still open for what we're going to do. With regards to our lineup, we're still competing for these next 2 weeks. Guys are very competitive for these opportunities, and we'll see where it stands in the next probably 10 days or so.
We've been talking a lot defensively. What are some of the strengths that you've seen on offense?
I think offensively, I think our ability to shoot the basketball. We have some guys that can knock down shots from the perimeter, which is good. Guys like Jalen Sellers, guys like Mentos from Lithuania, those guys can shoot the basketball, so that's a plus for us. I think our interior ability to score the ball around the basket. We got guys that can finish plays at the rim, which has been good for us as well. We have some guys that can slash and drive to the basket. That's also good. So it's a good group from the standpoint. There's not a lot of overlap in what we do. So there are guys that are good drivers, guys that are good passers, guys that are good shooters, guys that are good finishers around the basket. And so it's a kind of a more well-rounded team when you look at the personnel and how we try to devise the team.
Awesome. That's
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
You guys are welcome.
Thanks.
All right, Tracy.
Thanks
all
for
right,
doing
all
this.
right, Brandon. All right, you guys take care.
All right.
Thanks.